All right, so the Spring Carnival officially comes to an end this week. We've got the Pakenham Cup. I'll chat to Trev about it. How you going, Trev?
Good, mate.
So out to Pakenham for the official last day of the carnival. You don't bet there a hell of a lot, but what's it like to bet at Pakenham?
Can be all right. Just the only main reason it's just with the workload. Most of the meetings have been Thursday nights over the summer, and I've sort of had Wednesdays and Fridays and then Saturdays.
Yep.
So that's sort of been the main reason I don't. The track's all right. They can get away from the inside, but that doesn't sort of matter that much. It's this meeting with the better horses. In the past, it's sort of been an advantage to be up on pace. It's sort of a bit of an optical illusion. It just looks like they're running uphill in the straight.
Yeah,
But
having
walked it, they actually start to rise from about the 700. So it's uphill from sort of the 700 to the winning post. So it's a pretty grueling sort of finish. And the grass is tough too, because that's why they don't race during the winter, because they put the wrong grass in. They put Kikuyu in, which is sort of tougher grass, and it doesn't grow in winter. It lays dormant in winter. So that's the reason they don't race there in winter.
Good one.
So just another great decision. So that's why they only race there sort of 5 months of the year. But
so it is, obviously it's only slight, but it is uphill from about the 7.
oh yeah, it's pretty. It's you got to be strong.
Yeah.
It's a strong. It's a good horse's track.
I don't really make ground.
No, so if the leaders have got some ability and they can run along, it's hard. They don't get the backmarkers don't get slingshotted into the race as much.
Yeah.
It's a bit like Sandown, where they sort of get round the corner and then the leaders can scoot a bit.
Yeah. All right, we might have a look at the quaddie legs, starting with race 6, which is a benchmark 100 over the 1200 metres. Looking at top sport at the moment, Corner Pocket, the number 1, is first up. $4.60 favourite. Looks like there's been a bit of money for it too from Felicia, also first up at $5.50. Scissor Step $6.50, Current 7. There's a few more in the market actually. 6x63 at $8.50 and Umgara at $9.50. What did you think of this race?
I thought there was 5 main hopes, which were the 5 in the market: Corner Pocket, Felicia, Scissor Step, Current, and 6x66. Gara, I was happy to go round first up.
Yep.
I sort of had it in sort of 20s plus. And the other one I thought had a rough chance was Chassis. Corner Pocket was a bit disappointing. Mooney Valley on the leader's track first up, and then he's put it immediately away, brought it back. I got a favourite, but a bit longer than the market. Felicia's the interesting runner. Had been with Dean Bernays, who's not a notable trainer. He doesn't train a lot of winners. Doesn't have a lot of great horses. This is a nice horse. Had 400 and something days off. Now, last prep, Renault took a while to get fit. Ran okay towards the end. Now it's gone to the Snowdens.
Okay.
And B Shin's booked. So thought it was a likely improver. The market's find it. The market will always find it. With the stable change. Scissor Step's got a good chance. Curran, it's racing well, Curran, but it's a long time since it's won. It just finds it hard to win.
There's not a lot of winning form here. Going off the real advanced form method of just looking at the last few starts. There's not a lot of winning form.
And 6x66, it sort of gets the claim, but it sort of goes to the inexperienced. Gets the apprentice on. So it's for the start of the quaddie, I thought it was a wide open race to start with.
Sounds reasonably tough. We might have a look at race 7, which is the Cup over the 2,500 metres, the handicap. We've got equal favourites at the moment. We're looking at this Thursday afternoon. Top sport have got Milford and Kissinger on top at $4.40 from Wycliffe at $6.50, Noble Heights at 7, Future Score $8.50, fifth position $8.50. So again, a few in the market. Which of those did you prefer?
So I've got a bit opinionated here because it's going to 2,500. So I thought Sounds on the back up from last week.
Yep.
Didn't really get in the race, but one thing, it will run the trip, even though it's drawn out wide here again. So I thought it had a chance at sort of, middle sort of double figures.
Yeah, $13 at the moment.
So I think, around that sort of price, $13, $16 sort of thing. Milford, I was prepared to go around. It goes up. So it's got 59 against some of these other horses. It jumps from 1,800 to 2,500 off 7 days. Last start, it sort of won, but it was sort of out of the market. It was sort of $19 shot on Betfair sort of thing. So, excuse me, it's had a couple of runs at the distance range as a 3-year-old. Ran in the AJC Derby, but and failed. Did run sort of third last, beaten 9. So it just not sure it might have been the plan. I'm thinking, without knowing, just thinking it might have been an afterthought that it went sort of returned to form last week, so they go back up 7 days. So I was happy to bet around it. Future Score, it's got some chance, but it want double figures in. It's 8 years old, hasn't won for a fair while. Good Idea, it's got a fluke as it ran in second in this race last year. It's the leader and it'll run the trip.
$14.
So I think, 14 sort of round, I'll sort of probably be on it, nearly. 5th position, I was happy to go around. Won at Ballarat Cup Day on the heavy over 2,000, just sort of looking through its form. It's never been past sort of the 2,000, it might have been. It's never been to this trip, it's been to 2012 or something overseas. But and it's most of its best runs here have been on wet tracks.
Okay.
So I think the track will be dry. So I was happy to risk it. Kissinger's just races consistent, just basically half by returns the same figure every time. It's been ticking over well. Oliver's great distance rider, so it's got a good chance. Wycliffe, it improved last start back on the dry track. Craig Williams goes on, has won over this distance range before. Drops nicely in weight off its last run. Thought it was maybe the horse to beat. Noble Heights, it improved last start, finding the dry track. So I thought it had a good chance as well. So in an ideal world, I'd sort of like to be on Kissinger, Wycliffe, Noble Heights and Sound. It's a lot of horses, but you got Milford taking up percentage, got 5th position taking up percentage, and the other one I was happy to bet around was Vegas Night.
Yep.
Just going to 2,500. I thought that was sort of probably a negative, so I was happy to risk it as well. And I didn't really think 10, 11 had much hope at all. So I thought pretty much it was a race in 3.
Yeah, and it looks like you can bet on a few of them. So good betting opportunity there by the looks of things. Race 8 is the Vobis Gold Bullion over the 1,400. Jimmy the Bear's favourite here at $3 with Top Sport from looks like Elvis at $3.30, and out to Nicolini Vito at $6.50. Regards Marie and Peldoro at $8. What do you got on top?
So I've got looks like Elvis on top. Won this race last year. And then earlier this year, won first up at Flemington, sort of drew the outside, came with a massive run to win. Went out good, runs well, fresh, trolled super leading into this, and Williams is sort of booked. So I thought it was the horse to beat. Jimmy the Bear's honest, consistent's been given a bit of a break. I just thought the other horse is just a better horse than it.
Yeah.
Figures on my sort of figures.
Okay.
Nicolini Vito has been rating down sort of from its...
It's going well for a while there.
Yeah, it ran well last prep, and then it ran terrific first up back in July. Then it sort of went off the boil, and then it ran well sort of at Caulfield, first off 6 weeks, and then hit 2 wet tracks. So I thought it could improve. It'll get a good run. Sort of got it, just sort of slightly long on the market. This market I've done to 100 at the moment.
Yep.
I thought that regards to Marie, I was happy to risk it. I thought you'd want sort of better than double figures here, just with 61. And Pel Dior has just been, sort of always been a horse of mine. I thought he was terrific first up. He can go better than that. I think he'll go forward, possibly sit outside the leader. I thought he was good odds.
Okay.
So I was sort of, happy to sort of be on sort of looks like Elvis and Pel Dior there.
Yeah. Again, looks like a couple of bit of value there, which will be good to get into. And then the last is over the 1600, benchmark 78, so Future Stars. Chicago Bear is on top sport, $4 from Aaron Bay at $4.60. Beltoro at $7.50 and Ivy League at $8.50. Anything here, did you think?
So Ivy League, I don't know. It's American horse. I've got some time form ratings, but the market tends to know these horses, so I sort of just put it in the market. Beltoro was good last start, but it's drawn 14 and it's going to get back. It'll probably go back again. So it's a big ask. Chicago Bear was good first up on its first run in Australia, former overseas galloper. It'll improve sort of here second up. Can't get it quite as short as the market. Aaron Bay was well back first up at Cranbourne. Thought it was disappointing. And it's drawn 15, so it's going to have to do some work. I thought that, so I thought it was entitled to be longer. The one out of the market here that I thought had some hope was 13 Typhoon Harmony.
Yep.
It ran well a couple of preps ago, and then it ran well first up Mornington Cup Day this year, and then it's had sort of 3 runs in. Probably wasn't suited first up. Second up had their local apprentice on it, and then last start copped a heavy track. So now it's sort of 4th up, 1600, stays at 1600, and Williams is booked, and it can race on the pace. Its best ever figure for me was at Ballarat Cup Day last year, and they went 100 miles an hour, and it was super strong and walked in.
Okay.
So I thought it was, double figures was good odds it.
Yeah, it's $11 at the moment.
Yeah, I thought it sort of had some, it's a wide open race, but I was sort of happy to play it at double figures.
Good stuff. All right. Well, yeah, seems like a bit of fair bit of betting value about, which looks like a good day because we had a good day last week on at Caulfield.
Yeah, last week was good. Yeah, it was sort of. I think when the tracks are dry,
Yeah, the rain's finally let up. I think.
you tend to they tend to play fairly straight. When they play fairly straight, that's when the sort of the ratings and that have been pretty good. So. I think when we've sort of had good tracks and we sort of don't get any sort of biases, and then that's when you get outliers and you can sort of, they tend to be hit and miss. You might be on them, you might not.
Yep.
When they tend to run pretty straight, you can sort of just work around the value.
Good stuff. All right, thanks for that, Trev. We'll chat again next week.
Great, thanks, Mark.